Hi, this is Cindy with Quantum Kaleidoscope. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm going to do a read for August, a collective. I've been really meaning to post more videos, but these last 8 weeks have just flown by. So might end up talking about them at some point in time. Who fucking knows? But it's good to, try to do a new reading. So I am gonna just go straight to it. Okay. So what is going on for the collective for August? Okay. Like all my readings, they are timeless. Okay. So if you're not watching this in August, but you're still drawn to watch it, there's probably a message for you here. Okay. But this will be for, generally the next month. Okay. So we're going to do about an 8 card spread. I've kind of been developing over the years. Okay, and so what's going on for the collective for August? We do have the 8-8 portal coming up, so the Lionsgate. It's been very interesting. I do have a Lionsgate video from last year that I watched yesterday, and it seemed to kind of resonate. I said at 111, it's funny. Anyway, so what's going on for the collective? What will help them stay in highest vibration and on the truest path? Okay, throughout the month. Okay, how have people been? Okay, like we also had the eclipse season. Okay, so there could have been big changes. Eclipses, can eclipse people in and out of your life. We had both lunar and solar eclipse, so big changes. Okay, so what is the theme? Okay, so we have the Empress in reverse. Okay, I will put her up right. Okay, so ultimately, I think there's going to be a lot about, home, caring. Like the Empress is somebody who, now, the Empress reverse. We'll get to that. Okay. Um, what is the past that's influencing you now? It's the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, so we have some reversals here. Put them down. Oh, it's too low. Doesn't matter that you can't see them. What's going on kind of presently right now is the Six of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Okay, what we have is crossing the Queen of Swords. Okay, what is the spiritual lesson? It could be what you've been dealing with already or throughout the month. Okay, is the Nine of Wands. Okay, what isn't unexpected? Five of Cups in reverse. Jeez. Okay, and what is the guidance? The Emperor in reverse. Wow, so we have both the Empress and the Emperor that are in reverse. Okay, and a lot of stuff that is in between them. That's really interesting. Okay, and underneath the deck we have is Five of Wands. Okay, so Five of Wands is, first it involves a lot of people. It can represent five, but it can also represent, different teams or, different viewpoints. Okay, like you can kind of see, there you see the people, like, it does, this one almost creates a star, but not quite. So, like, things haven't really been lining up, maybe. Okay, like I've been talking a lot about timelines lately, and like the timelines haven't been merging yet. Okay, but this is about competition at best, but definitely bickering. People with their sticks and just kind of like the whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. So like, but again, if anything, it's different priorities. Okay, so people are not on the same page. And I'm surprised with the many like reversals actually have come out here. Okay, so first we have the Empress in reverse. Okay, so the goal with the reversals is ultimately to put them upright. And so it is still the Empress energy, okay, but like reverse can be a little bit more internalized. Okay, upright, you can see here, like, you know she's like making something, like some kind of and which I'm using the Robin Wood tarot, by the way, if anyone's interested. Okay, so she's like, I don't know what that's called, weaving or something like that, on a wheel. Oh, interesting. The wheel has actually all the astrological signs. So that's pretty cool on it, right? So it is about the, the cycle of life, the cycles that we go through, with a birthing process. She's pregnant there. Okay, in our garden, it does represent Mother Nature and, Venus. And, she does care for others because she's, the embodiment of all the other queens. Okay, and so she's the embodiment of, the air, water, fire, earth. Okay, and knows when to use that. Okay, but upside down, how does it look? Is there any kind of like real imaging for that? But either way, it's like, okay, you can kind of see the head is below and it's in the water. So it's like, can be definitely a lot more internal, dealing with, okay, she's the embodiment of all the queens. Like, for example, the Queen of Cups knows that she needs to like replenish herself in order to be able to take care of others. And same with a lot of the queens, okay, or all the queens probably, and so like with this is that, kind of maybe stuck in some kind of emotions, like really kind of reflecting on how one can, I guess, replenish the soul. Okay, and the fact that we have the Emperor in reverse too, which is, the guidance. Okay, is that, this seems like throughout this process, it can be about, embodying, like ultimately they represent, the yin and the yang a lot of times. Okay, and so we do embody both, masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. Okay, and there's like, it's kind of, a spectrum of whether or not, these energies are balanced. Okay, now we did have them in reverse. Okay, so I'm gonna get the goal. So again, same thing with the Emperor. The Emperor, this for some, okay, this can represent somebody who is really controlling. Okay, someone that, like, or that, but this is guidance. Okay, so the guidance is to like, take control slash maybe step into more of the, the passive, and role, for example. But either way, the guidance is Emperor in reverse. Guidance is generally to, within, between balancing the yin and the yang, and yin and yang, and balancing the feminine and the masculine. Okay, like we can accomplish everything because it's just same with the king. The king, like the Emperor, is the embodiment of all the kings and all the energies there. Okay, so maybe it's just been taking a back side over the last little bit. Okay, but now we have the past, and simply the present is, for some of you, okay, there has been a, disappointment in a love situation or a relationship, okay, because this Empress can represent somebody too that like just really, like, the Empress and the Emperor can just represent mother and father, okay, and so the mother and father who, are still only maybe a Queen of Swords or, King of Swords or whatever the case may be. Okay, so for some of you, this can mean that there was a relationship. It can represent maybe with your mother or with your parents in general. Okay, that needs to kind of get, fixed, or anything like that. Or it's about the accepting of, live and let live, but also like about the things that we cannot change. And so, but right now though, like it really depends like where you are on the spectrum right here, because we have on one side a return. Okay, because if these are two people, if they're the Emperor and the Empress, okay, they may not, if they're separated, okay, which just seems like there's a lot of bullshit and conflict separating, okay, is that they may not be feeling the best, because they are missing the counterpart in the 3D realm. Okay, in the 5D realm, there's likely kind of communication, but also in the sense of the spiritual realm where like the mind, body, and spirit, okay, within ourselves. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't actually know what I'm saying. Okay. So we have like it's always a challenging read when they're in reverse. But I had to. There was only a few cards in reverse that I thought I saw. So geez. Okay, so present is the Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, so that is returning. Okay, for some of you that like could be returning home or whatever, because I mean like if this is something per se with your parents, some of you can be returning home and going to your parents and like reestablishing the relationship with that with that, I mean, there was a lot of restrictions with COVID, so we weren't able to visit a lot of people. So there's, some of us haven't seen people for a year, 2 years even, because especially if something was going to be planned for 2020 or whatever, even first half of 2021, there's been limited travel. Okay, because I mean, the Six of Swords can represent, travel over water kind of thing, But ultimately, when you're in the Six of Swords energy, that is about moving into calmer waters. Okay, but is there uh, like a return to conflict? Because we have the Five of Wands, okay, as the overall theme, So I mean, and then if we're returning back, this could represent going back to the Five of Swords, okay, which is, harsh words. It can be when you really bring out the knives. Set at 11:11. This is the video. Okay, and it's like, so I mean, is there the challenge is the Queen of Swords? Okay, so the challenge is the truth. Okay, the challenge is the conversation. Okay, this can represent somebody else, like a specific person. Like for some of you, if there has been relationship challenges or something like that, this could represent, like an ex, for example. Okay, but regardless, or can represent like a relative again, whether it's your parents or some other kind of relative. Okay, but either way, the challenge is communication, the challenge is truth. Okay, so there's returning back to fight for something now that more clarity is gained. It's like as you gain more information, you then know what steps to do. Because sometimes, again, if you're, spending all this time, putting out little fires and all that kind of stuff, it's like, again, the Five of Swords come out, that's when the real knives come out. And again, not really in the, you know, literal sense, okay, in the figurative sense, but I mean, it means the stakes are higher. Okay. Okay, and so what we have is the unexpected is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so that's the wounded warrior. Okay, and this is somebody who has, been hurt, has been going through battles. Okay, so for some of you, this can represent someone who's going to come in and, do that one more push. Okay, this is Nine of Wands is an ending. Okay, but I mean, it is generally guaranteed success. Okay, if you don't give up. Okay, so I mean, for some of you, this means that someone is not giving up on you, whatever the case is. But another way is about you might have the eternal strength, okay, for one more push, okay, one more push about this justice, okay. And so I'm just trying to think of where we were. Okay, so that message definitely resonates. Okay, or definitely should was meant to be said. But I mean, based on what I seem to have pulled here, okay, is Nine of Wands is your spiritual lesson. Same message. Same message is basically, one more push. Okay, no matter how much like things, how much of a struggle it is, okay, because it seems like things have been seemingly going into calmer waters, but then there's a lot of reversals, things are not over yet. Okay, maybe again, there's been other readings I did over the last couple months or so that were talking about stepping into that stepping into the emperor and the empress. Okay, and so, again, whether it's, within oneself or, representing two people within the 3D realm and on the physical kind of thing, right? But I mean, it's just here it's maybe one more push in order to kind of change and put the emperor and the empress upright, okay? Because there's definitely a disconnection, but there's still love here based on these cards. But there's like some kind of communication or truth or a specific person that's actually kind of getting in the way. Okay, but the spiritual lesson, okay, is that you have, like, I mean, it's like the spark. Okay, like I'm looking at the so this is about 8 wands being behind you. Okay, so it's like things were going really, really fast, especially with all the competition or the timelines, or whatever kind of thing, right? And now it's like this is the ending, right? And so there's like a spark on the wand, the one wand that the person is holding, the warrior. Okay. So it's like, what is that inspiration? Okay. And it seems like there's a return to the past, a back to the future kind of timey-wimey. Okay, because I mean, like, eventually you'll move forward again with the Six of Swords. Okay, but it's interesting, the Six of Swords in this deck. Okay, like a lot of decks have other people in them, but this is just shows one, and it's actually kind of like a ghost with them, a ghost of their former past, whatever the conflict or their, even the lost lives. Okay, but again, we're in reverse here. Okay. So the unexpected is the Five of Cups in reverse. So again, here we have the five. So there's change. Okay. So I feel that like after some loss, okay, it's suggesting the Four of Cups. It's suggesting like, being really reflective of what has happened. Okay. But I mean, the Five of Cups reverse does suggest recovery. Okay. So unexpected is that you're recovering over the month. There will be a recovery process, okay, through these conversations, through, the Queen of Swords can represent, again, seeking, a professional in whatever you're doing, okay, seeking legal counsel maybe. Okay, but the challenge is either maybe not having it, maybe not getting the advice that is needed, or it's challenges with it like another person or within things. So there is a lot that is separating the Emperor and the Empress. Okay. Okay, and so the guidance is the Emperor in reverse. Okay, so this can mean like, I mean, if there is a battle of words, a battle of opinions, court cases or whatever the case is, it can mean, get a little harsh, like kind of like, I mean, boss, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I mean, boss. I mean, boss. I mean, business kind of thing. Okay. But I mean, you don't want to be harsh about it. Like the goal is to have, these energies upright, you know. And so the emperor takes care of the community. The emperor takes care of the empire. Okay, together with the emperor and the empress. Okay, together they make a power couple. Okay, who take care of their surroundings and their environment. And again, I keep using the example with the emperor in the sense that he can seem a little cold. Okay, like this is like, I know a lot about the Emperor energy in the sense of like I'm an Aries, so I'm 12th house Aries, so like it's kind of different. But I mean like, Emperor gets a bad rap every so often, so do Aries, and so like, but like things may not seem fair to the outside, but I mean like if you need to do food rations for whatever the case is, ensuring that there's food, throughout the winter, food until like more food can grow, like whatever the case is, So it does seem like there is a lot of change. Okay. I'm not sure how this kind of resonated. I felt kind of jumbled again, like it's been a while since I've been able to do a reading. And so I'm even dropping cards and stuff like that. But what kind of takeaway message can we get to the spread? Those that are watching. One more. Okay. Under the deck, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. So you could be dealing with somebody who is really immature. Okay. And, maybe you know, harsh words, gossip, there's a lot of kind of problems, especially if it's together with the Queen of Swords, maybe, so what else fell here? Four of Pentacles. That's upright. So this is about, holding back, stability. This is about your resources, okay? On a negative sense, it can be kind of known as the miser card. So, I mean, like holding on to resources, but, we have to give to receive type of thing, and so, like, there might be ways, you know, to, I guess, reflect on your resources and the usages of that. But at the same time, if you have a Knight of Swords in reverse around you, that's somebody who can cause a lot of trouble. And what do we have here? We have Death. Okay, and it is upright. And I love that this one looks like a flower. It is a flower. Okay, you have a rose at the top. Okay, and, Death there is in red. Okay, so I mean, there is a big transformation, okay, happening. Okay, and for some of you, there could be people around you who could have passed away. And so, if so, I'm sorry for your loss. But I mean, there's definitely like this transformation. Whatever's been happening is like, this is a major arcana. Okay, what we have here is the king. So we have the queen, the empress, and the emperor, both in reverse, and we have the death card in, like, showing up as the major arcanas. Okay, which I find with major arcanas, sometimes you can't really like see the details. Like, this is kind of what is truly happening. Okay, but death is, sometimes unexpected. Transformation is sometimes unexpected. But I mean, within this is a whole new kind of birthing process, like from the soul. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. Okay. I just kind of like was drawn to the fact that death is number 13. Okay. Well, lucky number 13, right? But also it reduces down to a 4. Okay, so another thing about security and safety and knowing what you need to do, in order to, well, right the wrongs, if there are any, if there's any kind of, especially with the Knight of Swords in reverse, words that, like, we want to take back, for example. There's always that opportunity in order to, heal situations. Okay. But we have an emperor and an empress situation that needs to be turned upright. So good luck. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, I'll repeat, I don't really know what I said, but hopefully it makes more sense to hear. Okay, so please drop me a like if you do, and if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do it. Love everyone who's joined. Okay, thank you. Bye.